Our thing back here that's been cut, that's the cerebellum. You take a look at the cerebellum from the other view. There's the cerebellum that sits here. This is the spinal cord. There's the cerebellum. So in the sagittal section, there will be the cerebellum there. And the white pattern of the, if it's white when you're looking at the nervous system, it means that the axons, the extensions from the neuron are myelinated. They're covered with a white fatty coating. And so you can see that these axons here, these portions of the neuron here in the cerebellum are covered with a white myelin coating. Gives them the white appearance. This gives you kind of the pattern of the branches of a tree and the cerebellum. And so when they first looked at it, they called it the tree of life, arbor vitae. So arbor vitae simply refers to the pattern of the white design in the cerebellum. That's all it makes reference to. Okay, and then the very bottom part of the brain, back here, this thickness, that's the medulla of the brain. That's the very bottom of the brain itself. That would be the medulla, that region there. Not the problem, but what you're going to get, there won't be nice dividing lines that divide one part from another. They are basically a lot of the time just regions or spaces. So this bottom bubble here would be the medulla. Above it, this one would be the pons. Right? So I don't get your book all gooped, but you can see where it says medulla, and then you can see just above it, the kind of thickening, that would be the pons. That would be this one. So we've got medulla, spinal cord, medulla, pons, and you can see that those two things are relatively closely associated with the cerebellum, right? About in line with that. This round structure is the thalamus, and you can see the thalamus pointed out in that picture. There's that fairly distinct round thing. That's the thalamus. Between the thalamus and the pons, in between those two, that's the midbrain. So the easiest way to do it is to take the bottom rim of the thalamus there to the top of the pons there, and in between those two spaces, that area is the midbrain region. From the pons down, that's what's known as the hindbrain, the bottom part. From the level of the thalamus up and all of this, that's the forebrain. So structures that you would get out of this very easily would be the spinal cord, the medulla, the pons, the cerebellum, the arbor vitae, the thalamus, and between the top of the pons and the bottom of the thalamus, the midbrain, part in the middle. Above the thalamus here, this white bundle coming around like this, that's called the corpus callosum. White, once again, because it's myelinated, very thick bundle of fibers.